Hello friends and fellow gamers, MKxJUMP here, and today we're checking out this week's event for Idle Heroes. We have Imp's Adventure with some bonus rewards, and as well a new treasure train has been dropped, so that potentially could be good buffs, or maybe it's not. We'll take a look in today's video. Now before we do, let me remind you about Patreon. It's a way you can support my channel here financially and get yourselves access to things like account reviews through our Discord in return. For information about our Discord, you can go into the description and sign up there, or you can consider joining me on Patreon by clicking the link in the top corner of the screen. A shout out goes to Christian Bjerknes, I hope I got that name right. You backed us on Patreon this week, thank you very much, and hopefully I'll see you on Tuesday for an account review. Anyway guys, let's go ahead and take a look at this week's event for Idle Heroes. So, every day for logging in, we're going to get ourselves 4 ordinary dice, as well as 100 orange marmalades. These are used to exchange for rewards in the campaign loot drop event called the Orange Sweetness. You can get yourself a various selection of rewards, and typically a free-to-play player should expect to get about 2,400 of these from logging in daily, and also from just collecting them from campaign. If you click the loot button, you will get access to these, and you can get them from Void campaign as well, in a similar fashion. Now, the Orange Sweetness isn't the main thing for this week, it's just a passive way you can gain rewards. I will add to this that actually if you do have universal crystals, it's not a bad idea to exchange them to get yourself Starspawn cores, because actually if you do Imp's Adventure, you'll get more of those marmalades as well, which makes it easier for you to get these. And I encourage, if you're a budget player or an early game player, or just someone who's struggling for Starspawn cores, Starspawn core 5s are typically the best, because big events like Christmas, New Year's, Chinese New Year will probably be giving us Starspawn core 6s. So it's a nice way of counterbalancing that so that you can upgrade all your star spawns. Now, we do have value packages this week. They're giving gems and ordinary dice. I don't think they're necessarily worth spending your money on this week though, mainly for the simple reason that we have bigger events coming on like Christmas, and there are actually better packs this week than these, so I think maybe just save your contract story gems and your money. There's better things to come. The adventure package, though, is pretty darn good. This is $50. It's getting you 10,000 gems, 35 dice, 200 universal crystals, 25 treasure coupons, that's pretty good, and double rewards for Imp's Adventure, which means all the rewards you get from Imp's Adventure are doubled, including treasure coupons. That's right, DH Games have decided this week to throw treasure coupons in as a reward, so if you get to 110, 170, 230, and 300 stars respectively, you'll get yourself 1 ticket for that. If you double that reward by buying the package, that becomes 2 tickets. And with that package as well, you should be able to get to 300 points, which is pretty nice. Now, advice for Imp's Adventure is to roll your ordinary dice and progressively go around trying to upgrade all these starry mushroom huts, and when you get a lucky dice by landing on the lucky hut, try and roll it when you're here for a 6 so that you can cut off the whole corner, or if you've passed the karma hut by getting a big roll, for example, you can use it to cut the corner off as well. However, if you're 1 before the lucky hut, I'd just roll an ordinary dice, as there is a chance that you could get yourself an ordinary dice back, or even another lucky dice, which can help you to level up your huts, or just make huge progress. So both are good in that regard, but looping lucky dice by landing back on the lucky hut is a good idea. Now, if you haven't seen, the shelter mission is fantastic. We've got Inosuke, we've got Betty, we've got Gista, we've got Delasium, and DH Games have done a weird. What I mean by that is normally the heroes that you need are 4 stars that correspond with the particular faction and the particular class. Now, if you look at Betty, that's perfectly normal. We need 4 stars that are from the Shadow faction and a mage, just like Betty. So that could be someone like, who's a mage in the Shadow faction? Deathsworn, of course, yes. 4 copies of Deathsworn is what you need, yeah. But if you look at the other factions, it's a bit weird. Inosuke, they want mages, even though it could have been rangers. So that's a bit weird that they've chosen mage here. So I guess you have to get Time Mage or Sierra for that one. And for Delasium, I was expecting it to be Illyria, as we'd need mages. But no, they want warriors, which is actually super easy to do. So I'm happy with that. At least we don't have to go for Akasha. They got it right with Gista, though. This is Assassins, so that's Grey-Eyed or Head Striker, so that's a little on the easy side too. So quite an easy shelter mission this week, all things said. Get your Deathsworns for Betty, and the rest of it should come in together. Anyway, with all that said, we've got a charm package this week. This is interesting. It's getting you 25 treasure coupons, 100 glorious relics, and 10 cores of transcendence. It seems that people have been buying this in the past, as DH Games have brought it back again, and you can buy this up to 10 times. So if you really wanted to, you could spend $1,000 on treasure coupons. I wouldn't do this. That's madness. Save your money for Christmas. Or maybe if you want to push this Moonlight gift we have, maybe some spending would be okay. Heck, I still think Starry Gems are probably better value here. Then again, some would probably disagree with me. I think when you combine treasure coupons and Cause of Transcendence, maybe it's better to get this. But honestly, I think Starry Gems are more useful. And you can get more focused rewards because you can use Starry Gems in the auction house or convert them to contract Starry Gems by buying cheap copies in the auction house and then destroying them, which then can potentially get you more progress in the long run. So I still think I'd go for Starry Gems over these packs, but they're there if you want them. And we have a series collection this week, and this is, at first value, you'd think is amazing. This is getting us every single reward you'd normally get from doing the monthly treasure coupon. So if you're not familiar, in the treasure train, if you do 150 tickets a month, you'll get yourself various rewards, one chest of each type. Well, for this, we're getting them for just doing 100, which is 2/3 of the price. So that's nice. However, this is limited to the brand new treasure train, which is a little unfortunate. If you take a look at this, this is only offering you the new treasure train items. And we're going to break down whether these are any good in the not too distant future. But spoiler alert, I don't think they are. Now, the Moonlight gift here as well, this is getting you rewards for spending your money. This is great. Straight away, 500 VIP XP is getting you Prism Starry Gems. So if you've got a monthly card you need to go ahead and purchase, do it. I think this is a really, really good Moonlight gift. However, continuing down, 1000 VIP XP looks pretty good. You're getting a 6-star class suit, you're getting an orange exclusive artifact for 2500, you're getting yourself Cause of Transcendence, gems, and an imminent hero chest. And then stuff gets really exciting once you've spent $100. $100 is going to get you 16 treasure coupons, a glorious flag selection chest, and an Essence Sublimation chest, which isn't bad. Pump that up to 200 and you get 33 treasure coupons, a mysterious artifact selection chest that contains Auspicious Lucky Cat, and a Core of Origin chest. That's nice. And then going down again, if you want to spend $300, it spikes massively in reward value. It gets you 50 treasure coupons, 5 Divine Power Aurora Gems, and 200,000 Scattered Spirit Vein Shards. So it's very, very clever what DH Games are doing here. They're incrementally improving the value of the rewards for each $100 you spent, which is then going to entice spenders that they'll go, oh, well, if I've spent $50, I might as well spend 50 more to get this, and then I might as well spend 100 more and then 100 more again. It's a very clever way of getting people lost in the fear of missing out spiral to spend more money. And you know what? I think it's going to work. I think we're going to see a lot of heavy spenders spending $300 this week. The most common way they're going to be doing that is buying this adventure package and then spending $250 on Starry Gems. Some people might go for these fancy little treasure coupon packs. Okay, sure, if you want to go ahead and buy a couple of them, by all means. But I genuinely think Starry Gems is the best thing. Also, if you actually wanted to get something else, you could just go and top up senior privilege cards and privilege cards if you needed to, and you've also got the treasure crystal card, so lots of things you can potentially use to top up that Moonlight gift this week. But is it worth going all in on treasure train tickets and then doing a ton of loops in this series collection? Is it worth getting a load of this? Well, for that, we need to go ahead and look at the treasure series to see if it's any good. So this is called the Hero Merch and contains lots of items considered related to the skins of heroes. For example, you can see Freya's motorbike there, you can see Mockman's basketball, so it links to all the different skins we have for heroes, which I think is a nice touch. It's relating to the game, which is cool. However, are these items actually any good? Well, let's start off with what they improve. It's going to be Tower of Dreams, Tower of Oblivion, Seal Land, and Aspen Dungeon. So straight away, that's a lot of game modes where people aren't really struggling. I guess getting more strength in Seal Land and maybe deeper Tower of Dreams and Aspen Dungeon could be good, but typically it's not something people are really desperate for. If it was improving Void Campaign, maybe it's a bit different. Maybe that's just the mindset of the community that we don't value those game modes as much, but then again, Aspen Dungeon does give some really crazy stuff. However, people have been able to clear Aspen Dungeon without needing any bonuses, but then again, that's people with massive trains already. So I'm kind of 50-50 about whether this is any good. Now, if you look at the series' collection's rewards, this is going to improve speed and control immunity. Now, speed has been a big issue for Aspen Dungeon, so maybe the mindset here is, well, if you go in on this treasure train, you're going to be able to improve the speed of your heroes. But there's a couple things you got to worry about. First of all, is this enough speed to make you faster than most of the heroes? Well, it is when you get really deep down, but that requires a lot of treasure train rewards, like plus 200 speed requires 10,000 points. That's going to need you to max almost this entire thing. Most people are never going to do that unless you completely whale out on treasure train. And that's probably not going to be you. Now, I don't even think anyone's going to get that in the first day, so yeah, forget that for now. There might be some people that really try, and, jolly well good luck to them, but they're going to need to spend a lot of money to max this all out in one go. On top of that, you're probably wondering, are the actual fixed stats from these things any good? Well, let's take a look at this, for example. This is called the Unicorn Ice Cream Cone. It's giving all damage dealt only in those game modes, so there are better treasure train items out there that are far more generic, such as the ones that increase the all damage dealt of Transcendence heroes. And on top of that, the fixed attack bonus will scale up to 717,000. Now, compare that with something like Retro Gaming. This MAME item scales all the way up to 742,000, so this is already better. On top of that, MAME in Void Campaign seems good. Going back, though, and taking a look at some other things, if you go all the way to Hero Token and take a look at the Queen's Cup, you'll see that this, when it scales all the way up, is giving you 801,000 fixed attack. On top of that, Hero Token improves your fixed stats anyway. So it's actually better to focus on Hero Token. Now, if you're a whale that's already maxed Hero Token, then I probably don't need to tell you what you should or shouldn't go for. You're probably going to go for this anyway. But I could understand why a lot of people out there would not, and actually save their treasure coupons for when we have Hero Token returning. Now, some of these other things are pretty cool. You got crit damage reduction, you got crit damage, it's all nice, but none of these fixed stat bonuses are going to be better than anything you could pick up in a different area. The only reason you would want to go for this is because it's actually cheaper to pick these up because you only need to use 100 treasure coupons. That's fine. But we have seen events in the past where it's been a generic chest you can pick up. This is only here because they've released a new set. It is likely that some point next year they're going to bring this event back, but these chests are going to be normal. They're not going to contain things limited to one area. It's likely that it'll contain anything you want, so you can be a little bit more free with what you choose. That said, if that never happens, at least you can go for the treasure train as it stands and actually just use 150 every time and still pick up things for the hero token. So in my opinion, it's probably best not to actually go and chase this treasure train event and wait for something where you can focus on hero token or something that's going to be a little bit better for your team. On top of that, Christmas is very close, and it's likely to be an event where we can go ahead and get festival exclusive items for Christmas. They're going to be dropping that stuff. It's very likely. So if you're looking to spend and go heavy on treasure coupons, it's probably actually going to be Christmas that gives us better value. It'll be very, very similar to the Halloween event when it comes to exchanging treasure coupons, right? And we saw a very similar thing at Black Friday as well. Obviously, it's a Transcendence event for Christmas because we recently got MKxJUMP released at Black Friday, so it's extremely likely, if not guaranteed, that we're going to get a treasure train event for Christmas, which is going to be most likely better value than the one you see here, because all the value packs are going to offer treasure coupons as well as the normal rewards such as heroic summon scrolls and gems. On top of that as well, you'll likely get treasure coupons just for spending, like we saw at Anniversary and Halloween. All in all, I'm expecting Christmas to be much better value if you're looking to invest in the treasure train. Now, the event preview for next week tells us we have Heroic Miracle, Prophet Summons, and Fantasy Factory. The reward for Prophet Summons will be Geista, and the Heroic Miracle hero will be Betty. And my expectation is they'll probably add something spicy to this. It might end up being a gala, but also the New Year event after Christmas could end up being a gala. Last New Year, it was an event where if you recycled a D or an E hero in the Soul Temple, you got double the amount of Contract Story gems. So there's a chance that DH Games does that again, which could be really, really nice. Maybe that's going to be next week. Maybe it's going to be New Year. We have to wait and see. So stay tuned to find out what next week's event's going to be. If you want to catch that, hit that subscribe button. I do these event reviews every Friday, but this week things are looking fairly quiet. If you want to go all in on the Moonlight Gift, feel free. Many people won't. 99 treasure tickets is very nice for spending 300 bucks, along with all the other rewards is incredible. Typically, I value all these mini rewards at about 50 bucks each, as long as there's other stuff coming in as well, and that's exactly what DH Games have done. So you could go and invest on pretty much anything you want and still get yourself a ton of rewards. So it's a nice event. Weird that they've kind of mucked up the classes in Shelter Mission. Hopefully that doesn't affect too many people. Good luck getting rewards in the Orange Sweetness and Imp's Adventure. Make sure you roll those dice and get some nice prizes. So yeah, solid event. Not the best, not the worst, but by all means, this treasure event is 50-50. If you think the treasure train's worth going in, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm not too sure. Do we really need these bonuses for Aspen Dungeon and for Tower of Dreams? The speed is nice, but is it enough? I'll let you guys decide. Personally, I'm a bit 50-50, hesitant, and I'll need to have a think about it for the rest of the week as whether it's worth me using my tickets now or saving them for later. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in, and of course, have a great week, and happy idling.